Relocated now to St. Francis's Folly, new temptations torment me. Rumour amongst
my fellow brothers is that entombed beneath our monastery is the body of Tihocan, one of the 3 legendary rulers of the lost continent Atlantis, and that with him lies his piece of the Atlantean Scion, a pendant divided and shared between the 3 rulers, which curbs tremendous powers. Powers beyond the Creator himself. My toes sweat at such possibilities, lying so close to my mortal self. Each night, I beat myself rid of these fantasies, but it is indeed a test.
Pierre, you litterbug.
Alright, level 5, St. Francis's Folly. So welcome back to our playthrough of Tomb Raider Remastered. This is level 5, St. Francis's Folly. And boy, is this one of the most iconic levels of Tomb Raider. I would say that it probably goes Lost Valley, then this one for the most iconic of the whole game. I have very fond memories of this level because it was almost impossible for an 8-year-old me to get through this unaided. I had a cousin that was 2 years older than me, and the 2 of us were not enough to get through it, so we had to bring in the big guns. My sister, who is 12 years older than me, and it took the 3 of us to overcome the trials at St. Francis's Folly. So Lara has come to Meteora, Greece in search of the tomb of Tihocan, the location from which she got from a monk who transferred here in the 16th century, and rumors abound that one of the 3 rulers of Atlantis, his tomb was buried underneath this monastery. Here he is, Mr. Pierre Dupont. He is the rival adventurer that Natla sent after the Tomb of Tihocan in the hopes of finding the second piece of the Scion. Let me just take a moment to marvel at what they've done in the remaster. Look at this light falling here on this Grecian little temple. The texture work on these pillars is just wonderful. Look, the render is peeling off of the brickwork. It's so lovely. And I noticed that they've added this kind of opening in the kind of arched ceiling here to explain why there's just a flood of light in this section. Just wonderful. And the sand, of course, or this rocky, gravelly ground, really convincing and really nice. You're probably going to see me save a couple of times in this level because, as I said, this level kind of turns you into a Tomb Raider. Like, they took it somewhat easy on you the last few levels, but they are certainly not going to show you any more mercy after this. So you just have to move this block over these touchpads in order to open the door. Let me show you. Sorry, I'm running through this because, you know, I played through this fairly recently and I'm here for the remaster most of all. But there is a door on that second floor, and laying the block on one of these two Omega touchpads will open it. And as I said in my previous run-through of this level, this is likely to be Meteora in Greece, because that's the place where they have these really, really ancient monasteries built very, very high above mountains that had been there probably since the Neolithic period. They're incredibly old. And I think to flee the persecution of Turkey's invasion, the Greeks built monasteries high, high above, and it was incredibly perilous to actually reach them. So it's got a little bit of history to this level, and yeah, it's really, really wonderful. This little alcove here leads to secret number 1, and as per my last playthrough, I'm just going to chuck a little save here, and I will cut to the successful run, because it can be a little bit tricky to get. So I discovered that there is a much easier strategy than backflipping onto it. You can actually just come here. And that's the way you do it. Alright. This part we should be alright with. Excellent. Secret number 1. Much easier to jump forward on that bottom slope than trying to backflip onto it like I did in my previous playthrough. Apologize for that. So with the subtitles they added to the cutscenes, it's much clearer, you know, it's much easier to hear what's actually going on in the story. But, you know, Natla tried to betray us and steal the Scion right out from under us as we found it. We also found out that the Scion is split into 3 pieces, or 3 pendants, one for each of the rulers of Atlantis. Natla seems to have found the diary of Brother Herbert, a monk from the 16th century that was sent here to St. Francis's Monastery. And in his diary, he wrote about the temptations of wanting to find the tomb of Tihocan and get his piece of the Scion, a mystical artifact that is supposed to house powers beyond the creator himself. So Lara breaking into Natla Technologies and finding this diary is now dedicated to stopping Natla after her little assassination attempt. Oh, look how lovely that texture is with the moss growing on the cracked stonework there and the paint. Very, very nice. Secret 2 is just down this slope. It's another really tricky secret that I'm going to have to perhaps switch to the successful run of. But you have to slide down this ramp, jump at the very last second just into a backflip, and land on a little outcropping. Okay, so we're just going to backflip from here. There we go. Took a couple of tries, but I got there. You know, on the subject that we were just talking about, like the cutscene, I hope you took a moment to appreciate how flavorful the writing is. Especially when Brother Herbert writes that his toes sweat at such possibilities. I think it's something you can really see. Vicky Arnold wrote Lara's backstory, which I've covered in one of my videos, and also each of the scripts for all 3 Tomb Raiders, the first 3. And her writing really is just super flavorful and kind of conjures an image in your head. She's a really, really wonderful writer. And she doesn't get enough credit for bringing our Lara Croft to life and making her the superstar that she would become. This is secret number 3, by the way. You need to grab this before you pull the lever that we just ran past. I love how, like, in the remaster here, that they've kind of obscured it behind what looks like a ceiling painting. Got our first croc there as well. Look at this. Look at this tunnel. Look at the light coming in there. So we're kind of like, some of it's obscured in shadow. Very clear light source here. I'm guessing they've put in some kind of ceiling hole. Yes. Inspired. Really, really great. Let's check out the iconic vista of St. Francis's Folly. That moment you got when you played it the first time and you looked down, you're like... another lovely ceiling hole. Wow. Look at it now. Look at the shadow and the mist. So good. Let's start the very iconic descent of St. Francis's Folly. So I think this level is kind of famous for its very unique trial. So as you can see up there, there is a door titled Neptune above. There's a series of trials in this level, each more iconic than the last. You might notice this touchpad over here. Don't worry about it for now. It's got to do with a secret that we'll do at the end. We just saw Thor there. And with the ability to turn, flip, mid-jump, it's made combat a lot less frustrating in this level. We're just going to head down to the very bottom of the structure. This very rickety, collapsed structure. And we're going to just pull switches as we see them. We've spotted at least 3 trial doors now. That one is labeled Atlas. And number 4, Damocles. Let's head further down using the steps that they've laid out for us. And rid ourselves of the bat population of Greece as we go along. I can hear it fluttering above me, but I can't see it. There it goes. There's another one up there I see. Lovely. Thor. Not going to go in just yet. Whoops. Getting used to the analog stick controls. Only ever pretty much used the D-pad for this game. Okay, and that's Neptune, the 4th and final door. Just for the sake of getting our bearings, I'll just show you quickly what we're going to be doing in this level. If you're new to the channel and didn't watch my last playthrough. And there's the final switch. So this is our objective, to reveal whatever is behind this door so deep beneath the monastery. And we're going to need, as you can see here, 4 different coloured keys. 1 for each of the trials and each of the doors that you just saw. Neptune, Thor, Atlas, Damocles. And we'll deal with the secret as well. So let's get started with these ancient trials. This was another level that I felt the anniversary version of the game kind of butchered. I'm sure Anniversary has its fans, but I didn't quite feel that it captured the spirit of the original. I mean, this level was pretty good, I have to say, as far as their levels, but just nothing on the original. Just gonna grab this medipack. Alright, let's begin the first trial. The looming swords. I love how they're sort of enshrouded in shadow now with a new lighting engine. Look at this. Little crack in the ceiling there, certainly wasn't there in the original. So Damocles was a figure that pops up in Greek mythology, and he was a courtier in the court of Dionysius. So in the story, Damocles was flattering his king as a truly great and fortunate man to be ruler, and in response, Dionysius offered to switch places with Damocles for one day so that he could taste what it was like to kind of be king. And Dionysius had a sword, like arranged for a sword to be hanging above the throne, held up only by the single hair of a horse's tail. And I took a little damage there, I'm afraid. To demonstrate to Damocles what it would be like being king and the anxieties and dangers of being in a position of power. That's kind of where we get the whole Sword of Damocles anecdote or saying. Can't quite fit through those blades. We'll go around. Oof. I noticed there's a little spark effect when they land. A nice little touch of the remaster glow up there. Okay, we should have a... Oof. Ooh. That one always gets me. There we go. Alright, let's head up. Okay, and as is my tradition, I always save before the Thor door, because this one is a very, very high possibility that we'll get killed. Oh, look how good that lightning looks now. I'm going to try and do this without getting hit. Well done. Ominous, isn't it? I love that they have added a little artwork of Thor there. That is so great. A really, really nice touch to make it feel unique to Thor in some other way besides, you know, the giant obvious hammer and the lightning. Alright, we'll hop safely down and we'll try to get back the same way we came and without taking damage. Let's see if it can be done. I'm just going to chuck another save. There we are. None the worse for wear. Not even a little strike. Not even a little bolt. Ah, that was a bullet from our lovely new rival Pierre. I'm actually going to get rid of him before we go forward. Or rather, maybe make sure he doesn't get rid of me. So that when we come to do the secret a little later, we don't have his magnum fire to contend with. Let's take this path forward. Okay, so let's now head even further up. Alright, trial number 3. Atlas. So Atlas was a Titan, and he sided with the Titans against the Olympians during the Olympian v Titan War. And of course, the Olympians emerged the victors, and Zeus punished Atlas by condemning him to hold up the heavens on the western edge of the world. So that's the kind of backstory there. Let's see what's in store for us. Ah, a giant stone boulder. Let's grab the meta pack over here. Alright, it's going to be a bit tricky, but you can actually dive over the top of this boulder as it's coming down. Let's just trigger it here. There you go. Very nice. There is a trophy, I think, for darting up into this little opening here. It's a little tricky, though. Alright, lovely. We've got the key of Atlas. So now we'll head to the final of the 4 trials. Alright, Neptune. Roman god of water. Oh, they've replicated the dolphin murals so nicely. And an opening as well at the very top. Oh, and they've actually rendered Neptune there. That's a really nice touch. I was hoping all 4 would have it, but I think it's just Thor and Neptune that I spotted. Anyway, the Trial of Water. Let's get moving. Alright, strong current forces us down. Lovely. Now let's get out of here before Lara runs out of breath. Excellent. And that's all 4 trials done and dusted. Did you guys also notice that little bits of water fly off of Lara when she comes out of her pool? That is very like Tomb Raider Last Revelation and onwards. Nice little feature. Gonna chuck a save, and we're going to get the final secret of the level, which is probably the hardest. We're going to hit this touchpad that you see here, and then we're going to race to the very, very bottom because there is a secret door just there in the corner. Now that I've made it, I've got 2 lions right behind me. Let's get the shotty. And we've locked the other one out. Very nice. Right. Great. Let's insert all 4 keys and unlock the door at the very, very bottom of St. Francis's Monastery. Excellent. And that's the end of St. Francis's Folly. Beautifully remastered, like we've never seen it before. Let's find out what's beyond this giant ancient door in the next level.